everyone, my name is Alekhya, Assistant Professor in Cybersecurity Department. And today our topic is on cybersecurity organization implications. So if you see any organizations, so it is facing so many challenges. Like it may be having threats against the attackers to change the data or access the accounts of the organization. Like that, there are so many challenges that an organization having. Okay, so let us see what are the implications of the organization in cyber security. So the contents today we are going to discuss are first one, introduction to organizational implications in cyber security, and what is the cost of cyber crimes and IPR issues. It is nothing but what are the results when any organization is attacked by any cyber crime, or if it is having any IPR issues. Okay, let us discuss about this. First one, introduction to organizational implications in cyber security. So what are the issues that an organization facing in cyber security? So it may be the possibilities of cyber attacks can emanate from sources that are local, remote, domestic or foreign. So it may be from local. So the possibilities of cyber attacks, so the cyber attacks may attack, it may be from the local. Local means the persons near to the organization, or remote. So otherwise remotely, domestic or foreign, from some other place. So the attack may be any of these: local, remote, domestic or foreign. Okay, so the attacks may be the possibilities of cyber attacks. So it may be from local, remote, domestic or foreign. Okay, they could be launched by an individual or group. They can be launched by individual or group. It is nothing but an attacker. An attacker, maybe if he or she has any grudge on an organization, so it is an individual attacker, or a group. So some group of people trying to attack on the organization. So it may be group like that. It may be an individual or a group. Okay. So they could be props. They could be props from hackers using personal computers, PCs in their homes. Handheld devices or intense scans from criminal groups. So the criminal groups, they may be attacked from. They will give the attacks from their homes or from their handheld devices or intense scanners. Intense scans. So like that, there may be chances. There is so many chances of attackers attacking on the organization's data or organization's profit or growth. Okay, next one. So let us see the cyber security perspective. It is nothing but what are the results of using this. Okay, so what are the results means it is the structure. It is the structure of cyber security perspective. First of all, protection of consumer right. Protection of consumer right is nothing but safeguarding the interest and right of consumer. Safeguarding the interest and the right of consumer. Consumer is nothing but the customer. And e-confidence. E-confidence means electrically giving confidence to the consumer. And redress. So these are the results. Redress trust seals. So there will be the trust will be developed through this protection of consumer right. And protection against cyber abuse. Protection against cyber abuse is nothing but the website which is having some abuse material, and it should have some privacy. Okay, the privacy, identity theft, cyber crimes, profiling, fraud. These are the attacks. These are the attacks against the cyber abuse. So okay, here the consumer, the victim will have these attacks through cyber abuse. These attacks through cyber abuse. So what should we have? Data protection directives and laws. And EU is nothing but European Union cybercrime forum. So these should be followed by the website organization. So any organization that should follow data protection directives and laws, and European Union Cybercrime Forum. And information or IT infrastructure security. So based on this, the intrusions and attacks will be controlled. So systematic risks and independencies can be controlled by using information or IT infrastructure security. Okay, and it is by using this network security detection and early warning. So it can be achieved. So the information or IT infrastructure security can be achieved by using network security detection and early warning. So by using this network security and infrastructure and early warning, the infrastructure or information security can be saved. Okay, this is the simple cyber security perspective. Okay, and next one, insider threat. So it is one of the threat which can be it is one of the threat for the organization. Okay, let us see the definition of insider threat. Okay, the definition of insider threat is the misuse of destruction of sensitive or confidential information as well as IT equipment that houses this data by employees, contractors and other trusted individuals is nothing but insider threat. So insider threat is nothing but the threat inside the organization only. Okay, inside the organization is nothing but it may be the employee, it may be the contractors that connected to the organization. So it may be the trusted individuals. So if we have any organization, we have some people that we have trust on them. So because of this, they will also loses their trust. So okay, so employees, consumers and trusted individuals. So these are some insider threats in an organization. Okay, so they will misuse the sensitive or confidential information. Like they may be sell these information to other organizations, or they will access that confidential information, or they will because of their negligence, there may be destruction of IT equipment. Okay, these are some individual. These are the insider threat is nothing but the misuse of destruction, like the misuse of information through the insider people, like employees, contractors or trusted people. Okay, the insider threat are caused by human actions. So it may be by using human actions also, like negligence, recklessness behavior, theft, fraud and even sabotage. Okay, so because of the vulnerability of the human actions, so because of the weakness of the human actions also, the insider threat will occur. Okay, so let us see some types of insider attacks. So we have 3 types of insider attacks, such as malicious insider, careless insider and tricked insider. These are the 3 insider threats. First one, malicious insider. So it is like motivated to adversely impact an organization through a range of actions that compromise information confidentiality, integrity or availability. So okay, so they mainly impact on the confidential information. So there may be chances of decreasing the confidentiality on the information, integrity, believing of the information if it is right or not, or availability. So at the time of need, is it available or not? So malicious insider will affect on these contents. So it will make the actions that compromise information confidentiality. So it will decrease the confidentiality, integrity and availability in the organization. Okay, and the careless insider can bring out a data compromise not by any bad intention, but simply by being due to accident, mistake, or plain negligence. So it is like the vulnerability of the insider. Careless insider is nothing but he's like it is a human mistake. It is a human mistake due to carelessness or some accident. The data might be compromised. It is nothing but careless attacker. And tricked insider. Tricked insider is a person who tricked into or led to providing sensitive data or company data by people who are not truthful about their identity purpose via pretexting. So it is like tricked is nothing but giving our confidential or sensitive data to other persons unknowingly, like without the other person which doesn't have the access to that data, which does not have access, which doesn't have access to the data, will access the data is nothing but tricked insider. Okay, tricked insider is a person who is tricked into or led to providing. So it will lead to provide the sensitive or private company data. The private company data by people who are not truthful. So the people, the attackers, the people is nothing but the attackers who are not truthful about their identity or purpose. So they are the other persons, they are not truthful about their identity and the purpose via pretexting. So they will grab the data because of this insider threat, because of this tricked insider. Okay, these are the three insider threats. Next one, security breach. Security breach is nothing but the data which belongs to the organization can accessed by the other person, like the other person which doesn't have the authorized account of the in the organization itself. Okay. Here the unauthorized acquisition of data that compromises security, confidentiality or integrity of personal information. PI is nothing but personal information. So the authorized acquisition. So like the access of the data to the unauthorized person that compromises the security, confidentiality or integrity of the personal information of the organization. Okay, and good faith acquisition of PI, personal information. Good faith acquisition of personal information either by an employee or an agent of an organization for business purposes is not considered to be breach. Okay, so if we have good faith acquisition of personal information either by the employee or by the organization of an agent of an organization for business purpose. So if we give any our account details to some other employee or agent of that organization, and that shouldn't consider to be breach. Okay, so here it is not used to subject further unauthorized disclosure. Okay, it should not be considered as an unauthorized disclosure. Here the PA personal information that can be sometimes we should have to give the access to some other employees or some contractors that are connected to the organization. So that shouldn't be considered as a security breach. Okay, and PI personal information is information that is or can be about or related to the identifiable individual only. So PI is nothing but that information should be related to the organizations the identifiable individual. So the individual should be identified with some identity number. And it includes any information that can be linked to an individual or used to directly or indirectly identify an individual. So it is mainly, so the information is mainly used by the individual and used direct or indirectly identify an individual. So it is mainly used for identifying an individual in an organization. So what is PI and what are the contents that are included in PI? Let us see. First one, social security number or social insurance number. So the social security number is a unique number that is given to an employee for the access of the data. Is nothing but the social security number. And driver license number or identification card number. So the driver's license number. So the driver's license number or identifiable card number. The driver's license number. So it is like the number which is given to an individual for the driving license. And the bank account details, like the data which is connected to our financial accounts, like credit card or debit card details, or PIN numbers of the credit card details or debit card details, our PI numbers, like access code, security codes or passwords that would permit access to individual financial accounts. So the passwords, the UID numbers, everything that connected to the financial accounts and bank accounts that are also included in personal information PI. And home address or email address and medical or health information, these are also the sensitive data that are included in personal information. Okay, these are some 4 keys of privacy. So privacy is nothing but everyone have some like privacy. So privacy is nothing but securing our data from the attacker, securing our personal data from attackers. So in this we have data privacy. So the data privacy is nothing but the data which is connected, like for example we have financial data. So it should have some privacy. So everyone shouldn't access that privacy. It is nothing but data privacy. And personal privacy is nothing but like our photos, videos comes under personal privacy. And communication privacy. Communication privacy is nothing but the communication between 2 users, 2 employees in an organization. Like that, the communication privacy will comes under. And territorial privacy. Territorial privacy is nothing but the communication, the information that is shared between any 2 organizations that are interested in one project, like that the territorial privacy included. And what are the key challenges? What are the key challenges from emerging new information threats to organizations? So what are the new information threats that to organization? Means first one we have the industrial espionage challenge. So in this, the industrial espionage challenge is nothing but the spying. The attacker will try to spy on the information that is included in the industry, like organization, is nothing but industrial espionage. So industrial espionage examples are, so the examples like IP theft, cyber attacks and malware attacks are some examples. So it is nothing but the attacker will always spy on our network. Our network is nothing but the industrial espionage. And next one, IP based blocking. IP based blocking is nothing but it places barriers in the network. Barriers. So barriers in the network. Barriers is nothing but it places barriers in the network. And barriers is something that's such as any law or policy that will block some action that should not be done. So it is like the blocking of the IP address. Based on the IP address, it will block. So it places the barriers in the network. And the examples for this is we have VPN traffic. we have VPN traffic, and it may be blocked by using TCP, or it may be blocked. It may be blocked by using TCP or IP protocol. TCP or IP protocol. So it is nothing but IP based blocking. And next one, IPC, IP based clocking. So IP based clocking, it is where the web server delivers a specific web page content. So here it is to the only visitors, and the according to the visitors IP address, it will send the web pages to that visitor. So it is like web server. It will deliver a specific web page. So it will deliver the specific web page based on the visitor's IP address. So based on the visitor's IP address only, the web server, here the IP based clocking will be done. Okay, this is one of the challenge in organization, threat to the organization. Okay, and cyber terrorism. So cyber terrorism is nothing but it is the combination of cyberspace and terrorism. Cyberspace and terrorism. So cyberspace and terrorism, in this we have cyberspace is nothing, we have already seen, it is the where we will spend the time with the internet. It is nothing but cyberspace and terrorism. So these are the combination is nothing but cyber terrorism. So the war between any two nations is nothing but cyber terrorism. Okay, and the confidential information leakage is nothing but our data. So like our financial data, which connected to credit card details. So which the bank accounts data related is nothing but the financial data. So these are the challenges. So industrial espionage means the spying the attacker on our industry for cyber attacks, to give malwares to the IT security. So these examples are IP theft and cyber attacks and malware. And IP based blocking means it will give barriers in the network. So it will give barriers in the network. The example is the VPN traffic that will block by using TCP or IP protocol. And next one, IP based clocking. It is nothing but based on the the visitor's IP address, the attacker will try to send web pages to the server. It is nothing but IP based clocking. And cyber terrorism, cyberspace, and the combination of cyberspace and terrorism. And confidential information leakage means the leakage of the data that are connected to the financial data. And next one, cost of cyber crimes. So what is the main result for the cyber crimes? For organization's internal cost, we have cost of detection, cost of investigation and escalation, and cost of containment, cost of recovery, and post-response costs. So these are all costs associated with cyber incidents that will result in consequences and national costs associated with them. Let us see the consequences and national costs associated with them. First one, information loss. Information loss or data theft. So the data may be lost, that is deleted, or the data may be theft, stolen by some attacker. And business disruption. Disruption means the disturbances in the business, and damage to property, plant, and equipment. So the equipment which is like the IT security that is built in the organization, there may be damage. There may be damage and loss of revenue, actual and potential. So loss of revenue means the profit of the organization will be lost, and damage to brand image. So the reputational damage is nothing but the damage to brand image. These are the costs. These are the costs that are associated with cybercrime incidents. Okay. Let us see. First, when a cybercrime incident occurs, if there is any cybercrime incident that occurs in an organization, there are n number of internal costs that are associated with organizations, and that there are organization impacts as well. So we have organizational impacts. There may be so many results for that attacks, and detection and recovery constitute a large percent of internal costs. So if we want to detect and recovery, it may also having large percent of internal costs in the organization. And this is supported by the benchmark study conducted by Ponemon Industry USA, carried out with sample of 45 organizations. So this institute, it is taking, so this USA institute is taken some 45 institutes representing more than 10 sectors, and each with head count of 500, at least 500 employees. So this is the study that is conducted by the Ponemon Industry in USA for the cost of cyber crimes in an organization. And next one, consequences of cyber crimes and the associated costs. So first one, information loss or data theft. If there is any cyber crime occurs in an organization, first of all, there may be highest 42% of information loss. So the information lost is 42%, and the disturbance in the organization is 22%, and there may the damages to the equipment, plant and property is 13%, and loss of revenue and brand termination, it is nothing but the reputational damage is 13%, and other some small damages is some 10%. So these are the consequences of cyber crimes that are having associated costs. So let us see the organizational impacts of software piracy. So if there is any software piracy in the organization, so what are the impacts? What are the results of that? Let us see. First one, software piracy is an IPR violation crime. So intellectual property right violation crime. It is if there is any software piracy that is occurred in an organization, that comes under IPR, intellectual property rights violation crime. Okay. Use of pirated software increases serious threats and risk of cybercrime and computer security. So it will mainly damage the cybercrime. It will mainly damage the cybercrime and computer security. If any organization using pirated software. So pirated software is nothing but the software which is having the policies that can be already known by some other person. So using the pirated software, that will increase serious threats. So there is so many threats and risks in the cybercrime and computer security. So violation of cyber laws. So violation of cyber laws are nothing but pirated software. So it is come under copyright laws. Okay, copyright laws. If we use any pirated software in an organization, it is come under copyright laws. Pirated software. And knowing use. Knowing use is also a criminal offense under the act. So under the Copyright Act, knowing use is also one of the criminal offense. And use of unlicensed software, pirated software. So if the software is not having any license, it should also be discouraged. So it should also be come under this copyright law. Okay, and vulnerability of non-genuine computer. The vulnerability of non-genuine computer software. It is, we have seen in the third picture. Okay, the vulnerability of genuine computer software. The spread of this virus can be partly attributed to the lack of automatic security updates for unlicensed software. So using the unlicensed software will also having so many threats. And next, if we see any organizations should track software license to ensure that only genuine copies are used and that the number of installations is not more than the allowed numbers by establishing a software license tracker. So in an organization, the license of the software should be given to some people only. So some people only. And the most often quoted reasons, the main reasons by employees for use of pirated softwares, the main reasons are for using pirated softwares are: first one, pirated software is cheaper and more readily available. So it is very cheap, so it is cost efficient and that can be used easily. And many others are pirated softwares anyways. Many others use pirated softwares anyways. So some other people are also using. So why not us? Like that the employees think. And next one, latest versions are available faster when pirated software is used. So if we use any pirated software, so every time they will get simply latest versions. So every time they will get easily the latest versions, so that they'll try to use the pirated softwares by the employees. And next one, prohibition of system failure. So if there is any system failure, what is the effects? So what are the effects on each aspect of the organization? Let us see. So first one, if there is any failure in the system, first one, the minor system failure will be some 5%. And significant system failure will be 24%. And loss of SPA, sensitive personal data is 28%. And critical system failure is 43%. And the main loss is to the business sensitive data. The main loss is for the business sensitive information. So the data which the organization having, so it may be the manufacturing secrets of the product that are produced by the organization, or the bank details of the organization. So everything that comes under the business sensitive information. So there is much loss to that business security sensitive information. So this is the main these are the main losses for the organization if any employees are using pirated softwares in the organization. Okay, so today we have discussed about the organizational impacts of cyber security and the cost of cyber crimes and IPR issues in the organization. Okay, thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.